Oh, it was hidden when it was moved.
Can I shift this over?
And we're live.
What up?
There.
What up,
I got it.
people?
I fixed it. Don't touch that.
Don't you touch that. Are we live?
You guys really suck at being live.
Yeah.
Did you push the live button?
We're live?
You're not good at saying we're live.
Heads up would have been.
Maybe we joke around too much.
Maybe that's it. Hey, what's shaking, everybody?
What
Welcome
up,
to another
you?
riveting episode of the Nerdy Couch Show.
Where we will be covering. It'll be a double
Dummy.
It'll be a double whammy today.
Yeah, double whammy.
Dub wham.
D-wham.
So, 2 episodes
Mm-hmm.
for the price of 1.
That's right. Because Super Bowl is important.
Because Super Bowl's getting in the way.
That's not getting in the way.
It's
but
getting in the way.
You know what? Just roll the thing.
All right. You really have an attitude.
I don't know.
What? Well, then it's just...
Hey!
Then mute our mics, gosh darn it. I thought we had a producer. I hate you, Dan.
But yeah,
Double whammy.
double whammy. We're obviously gonna start with episode 4.
Oh, that's should we?
I think we should.
8 seconds, baby.
Was that 8 seconds?
Of course it was.
It was longer than 8
You
seconds.
know? So, episode number 1, episode number 4.
Yeah.
I feel like there's a lot of points that are going to cross over
There probably will be. To
the 5th episode.
yeah, these 2 episodes are pretty tightly bound.
They're tightly knit.
Yes, well wound.
Yes.
Woven story.
Yes.
Yeah.
And a great story.
Oh, very good.
Still holding that the title of a 10, I think.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
That's fair. That's fair. Except for you downplayed.
I did downplay it
Yeah.
because reasons.
Right.
Let's get right into the episode 4.
4. Starts off gas station. Joel and Ellie just ripping on the run, stopping to fuel up.
Yeah.
Ellie's on her bathroom break.
Is this where she's eyeing herself up with the gun?
Yeah. Like a desperado, I think.
How do you say desperado and expect us not to sing?
I didn't.
Like, you cannot do this to me.
No.
All right.
Can you handle it?
I'm
Are you
trying
holding it
to,
back?
but it's not easy.
Desperado, why don't you come to your senses?
See, I'm holding off.
You've been out jumping fences.
All right, stop.
Okay.
Collaborate and listen.
Yeah, she's hanging out, eyeing herself out with the gun, doing her thing. That's all she hangs out in the bathroom for a bit. And I don't know if Joel thinks she's like just taking an extended bathroom
Taking a
break or-
deuce?
yeah. But she seems to be in there for quite some time. Joel's siphoning gas, which isn't really something I had thought about, was that
When playing the game? Or when...
yeah, just in general, like the gas waters itself down so much that you would have to.
So does she come out of the facility to him siphoning gas?
Yeah, he's sucking pipe.
Yeah, he's sucking pipe. Wow. He likes to think that he can bullshit his way through the explanation of why it works.
Yes. Well, yeah, because he doesn't know anything apparently about why siphoning gas works.
Does gas actually break down over time?
Well, yeah, because you find that in like lawnmowers and stuff after the winter and stuff. Like if you leave old gas in there, a lot of the time it'll start to degrade. I actually got a lawnmower that was previously used and must have had old gas in it. And then I had left the old gas in it. And when
That's
I had taken it
interesting.
in,
That's interesting.
they said that you could barely light it on fire. It was so
So it
watery.
becomes like a non-flammable liquid all of a sudden, and it's
And now it's useless.
so now they have to stop on their very long journey
Yeah.
because they don't actually go to the same location as in the game.
They go to a city.
They do go to a city. I can't remember where they go now.
They go to Kansas.
In the game or here?
I don't remember if they go. Do you got anything over there? You know what we didn't set up was the producer mic, but that's fine.
No, the producer mic's not working. You could just not look at us like that.
She didn't hear what she said.
Do they go to Kansas City in the game as well?
No.
No. What city do they end up in? And I should know because I'm.
No, it started with a P.
Pittsburgh.
But they're not at Pittsburgh yet. But there was something that showed that the one bridge says that they're reaching Pittsburgh. So I don't know.
Yeah, but they passed Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh?
For goodness sakes. They pass it in this. So they do not go to the same location.
Okay, well.
All right.
Are you sure? They're not in Kansas anymore.
But is this...
Well, no. Well, I guess currently.
We're really stressing on the locations here.
It doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter?
It's not the same location as in the game.
It's just not.
Okay.
But does she tell her jokes before or after they
She
leave?
tells her jokes when Joel becomes unimpressed with the fact that she won't stop talking and asking questions.
So she tells literally the exact jokes.
Yeah.
From the game.
Yeah.
From the same book.
Same book. What is the book? The book's no pun intended. Volume 2 with TOO.
Which she did receive from Riley,
Yes.
I believe. Which they don't tell you in the show yet.
No.
The show is different.
By the way, his jokes are hilarious.
Yeah.
Like, I'm a big fan.
See, this is where I want to flash over to number 5 because
Right.
they tell the jokes again,
Yes, they do.
right? But are we allowed?
No. Can't. You could. Go ahead.
Because later on,
Yeah.
Joel finally cracks
Yes.
and he kind of giggles at the jokes.
That's in this episode.
Is it the very end or is it the next
close
one?
almost to the end of this episode.
Okay, well then I'm not breaking
No,
any
you're not.
rules.
No, you're not. Yeah, he finally cracks just as they're going to sleep at the end of this episode. And in the game, she gets the book from Riley. In the show, she finds it at the gas station. Did she find it at the
Does
gas
she
station?
find it at the gas station?
Yeah, she comes up and says, look what I found.
Okay.
Hmm.
I don't know if I like that. I like thinking that it was in her backpack the whole time
Yeah.
gave me a little bit of,
So it was a bathroom reader then.
Yeah,
So
it
maybe
was-
she was
that means there's poopies on it.
just real old ones though.
Like real old poopies. Somebody was reading that on the John.
Yeah.
How does
Well,
that
they
make
don't
you
have
feel?
They don't have a lot of toilet readers in the apocalyptic
Oh, yeah.
future.
Where are we then? We
That was pretty much it, and then we get the truck scene finally. That I was kind of looking for at the end of the other episode.
Are you talking about when they're pushing the truck in the game?
No, we don't get that scene.
Because that clearly doesn't happen.
No.
That would have been in episode 3 if it was.
Right.
I kind of like that scene too, though, because it shows that struggle they had with the infected trying to get at them and
Yeah.
stuff. So
Well, and Bill's truck in the show is more well kept than the truck they find across Bill's town.
what do you mean? I thought that was Bill's truck.
Bill, no, not in the game.
Oh
the
no,
game,
no.
that's just a random truck they
In
found.
the show, yeah, it's
Yeah,
Bill's
in the
truck,
show,
though.
that's what I mean. Bill's truck.
Okay,
is
you
more
got
well
me
kept
all
than-
discombobulated.
Yeah. I did. So the truck scene that I'm talking about is when they're ripping down the road, and then she finds the porno mag in the back, and she's
Yeah,
like,
but we did get that.
"How do you even walk with this thing?" Yeah, yeah, we did get it.
Yeah, and pretty spot on.
It was pretty well identical.
Yeah.
Throws it away, etc. And then we get some Hank Williams, little
Mhm.
traveling music, which is good stuff.
I heard that you had some similar magazines. Is that
Like
true?
well endowed men.
Yeah.
Maybe back in the day, but today
Probably-
it's a digital world today. You don't really need
You
magazines.
probably starred in a few.
Although yeah.
Yeah. The wink and the gun, eh?
We get some backstory on Tommy, around the fact that he always has been looking to be the hero kind of guy, joined the military, which I think isn't that much information and wasn't that interesting to the progress
I
of.
thought you were going somewhere
No, I
hardcore
wasn't.
with this.
I wasn't.
All
He
right.
joined the Fireflies. He's just a do-gooder guy that's messed up his life continuously and keeps making the same mistakes, which is
Yeah.
interesting.
It describes how you feel about Tommy from the game, really. Like,
Yeah.
one thing that in that truck scene that I felt was different than what I thought it was going to be.
Mhm.
In the previews, when he says you're just cargo.
Yeah.
In the trailer, it sounds much more harsh.
Yes, it does. Yeah, it was a
Right?
little when I think because in the trailers you don't
Get the context.
you don't
of
get
it.
the context and you don't really see the development of Joel and Ellie's relationship to this point. It feels harsher. Like it feels like
It
he's
feels
like,
harsh and it sounds harsh because that's all you get.
Yeah.
But then when you get the rest of what he says and the context behind it, like, no, you're not family, you're cargo.
Right.
But I made a promise to Tess,
Right.
and I'm going to keep it and stuff like that. And it comes off way less.
It's still like not nice, but
like, and she doesn't even seem to take offense to it.
no.
Right? She knows.
Yeah.
She knows.
She knows who she is.
All right. But through this episode, you get the sense that they are connecting more.
Yeah.
Right? And by the end of
I'm gonna say it's the pun book that's really
it's
pulling them together.
It's the glue.
Yeah.
It's the glue.
It's bringing them in the forest, the
Yeah.
camp scene, and I love that camp scene too, because she's really worried about the fact that like is anybody gonna find us and going on about that stuff.
Essentially, they have to pull over.
Yeah.
To rest, right? And they've got to do it way kind of back in the bush, because otherwise, marauders.
Yes.
And infected.
Right.
Right.
Way in the bush.
Way in the bush. 2 in the bush.
Bird in the hand. That's what that's worth.
Okay. You were saying?
Yeah, I like the fact that you can see the development of the relationship right there in that forest scene, because he says no one's gonna get us, no one's coming, blah blah blah, and he's like going to sleep or like acting like he's gonna go to sleep, and then he ends up, presumably because he's standing there and it ends up watching all night to make sure that no one's coming.
Yeah. Now he says something to her that almost scares her a little bit. When he's like, what are they going to do type deal? They're going to come and kill us. And then he says like,
oh yeah,
probably more than
way worse.
that, way worse than that. And it kind of scares her a little bit. And then he almost feels, I get the sense that he almost felt bad for putting that in her head.
Yeah. Well, it's bedtime. He wants to be thinking about that, going to bed.
Yeah. So I think that might be part of the reason why he was up all night. And, I was a bit of an asshole, and now I got to write this. You know, stay up, keep watch. This is not his first rodeo.
No.
You know, he knows how the world is.
That's right.
So, he's the protector right now.
You know what I really appreciated out of that whole forest camping scene piece was that he had coffee. Because I think about that sometimes.
Is that what you appreciate about it?
If the world ends,
is there going to be coffee?
I need coffee still.
Well, he definitely needs...
Am I going to have to go south towards Colombia just to make sure that I can get beans to
She doesn't seem to know... Does she know...
She doesn't really know what coffee is.
No. Kind of thrown off by that. And he needs the coffee. He's been up all night.
That's... Yeah.
He's got his canister of coffee while they're driving. Right? That's when they have their little conversation about her being cargo.
Yeah.
And then they run into traffic, essentially.
Yeah. Some gridlock.
Yeah.
They didn't plow the roads with a giant car plow.
Yeah. I mean, this happens in the game.
Yeah.
They get sidetracked. They could go back, but it could take much more time.
Yeah.
Right?
And more sucking hose.
Sucking hose. Sucking pipe.
Yeah.
All right. So, F it.
Can go through town.
We're going to go through town. Is it the dangerous thing to do?
Of course it is.
Of course it is. And we're met by the most dangerous thing in the world. Man.
Mm-hmm.
Mankind. Okay? A gentleman approaches. He appears wounded.
Faker.
All right.
His acting wasn't even that good.
What a faker. Yeah, but was his acting... Was his portrayal of poor acting good acting?
Yeah. It was as good as in the game.
Like, it was so not good, it was good.
Yeah. Help me.
Yeah, help me, Lord.
Help me, Jesus.
Ellie's like, hey, we got to stop, right? But Joel being on the other side, he said.
Yes, he has been.
Right?
They talk about that later. That he has been the bad man.
He's not fallen for tricks.
Nope. He's played this trick before.
You know, not only that, but even in the first episode, he was unwilling to stop for people.
Yeah. Yeah.
Out of pure...
Oh, that's a good throwback, man.
Out of pure context that it's not worth it.
Yeah.
I have to get us out of town.
Yeah.
Right? I have to take care of my daughter.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Right? Now he's got to take care of Ellie. It's his job.
He's got to take that cargo to where it needs to.
Yeah. But it's his... He has to fulfill his task, and taking risks is not part of it.
Right.
So they have a pretty game-accurate scene where he crashes into the building.
Yes.
Shootout. I was satisfied with it.
Oh, I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
It was solid.
Little bit different.
It was tense. It was tense enough that Teresa was sitting beside me and was like doing the arm squeezes, like just because it was such a it was a well played.
That is your wife's sign of being tense.
Yeah.
She squeezes the arm out of another person.
Yeah. Yeah.
I know that for a fact.
That's right.
I've been there.
Mm-hmm.
I've been on roller coasters with her.
Yeah.
Nearly came out without an arm.
That's right. She'll pull it right off.
Oh yeah.
Right out of the socket. And we get the scene. Now I was talking with our off-camera folk while you were
upstairs.
Our
off-camera folk?
Wheezy and the producer.
So the crew.
Yeah, the crew, the nerdy crew. Well, I'm the nerdy crew as well, which is why I went with off-camera folk. But
it just sounds weird. Okay?
Wax semantics.
That's how he talks about you guys.
And on the board.
Did you say semantics?
Yeah. On the board. Like that. Thanks. On the board. our producer had written, Ellie shoots guy in ass. And I had to argue with that.
She did. She clipped him in the ass.
Well, he obviously had a spinal injury, though. Because he even mentions the fact that his legs aren't working. So she hit him in somewhere in the spine.
Okay, well, that's less important, I think, than it needs to be.
It probably is. But
She downed him.
Yeah, she shot him in the lower back.
Now this mimics
spine, ass area.
We
decided that the bullet had entered his rectum and
nearly
went straight straight into the spine, so that everybody was satiated by the explanation.
Okay, I'm good. This scene.
Yeah.
Trying to get past this, okay? If we could.
Sure.
All right. Rectum. This scene mimics in the game when Joel is being strangled and she clips him, except she clips him in the head.
Yeah.
And actually kills him.
She straight kills somebody.
She doesn't merely hurt the character.
Which did nothing but help the story and the feeling and emotion.
I agree.
In the show.
I was not sour about that change. How did you feel over there about that?
She feels good.
Good?
Yeah, thumbs up.
You were all right about it?
Yeah. I thought it was great, actually.
It did. It was fluent.
Yeah.
And it worked.
It added to her and Joel.
You got to talk louder because you don't have a mic over there.
It really added to like Joel caring about her as a child.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it definitely furthered their story and helped them feel like closer.
And it also because you were a little off-put about how Ellie got the gun.
Yes, and I did want to bring that up, that like you had said that you think it's just going to be, it's not going to matter, and it's to the story, and it's very cohesive.
Yeah.
And it just works. And like, essentially I was worried about nothing.
Yeah. Yeah, because it played out really well.
It did play out well.
Like he took the gun away and then gave it back.
And his sympathies towards her, like you shouldn't have to go through that type deal.
Right.
Right? It was all just very kind of like natural.
Now, they talk about, that being the first time Ellie hurt somebody and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And then we find out a little later that she states that that's not the first time. So I was speculating on, because the show has been changing pieces around the game. And I know one of the episodes I think is actually called, and I can't remember if it's coming up next or the one after, is called Left Behind. And I'm wondering if
copyrights,
if they twist that story into potentially Ellie is the one who kills Riley after she gets infected. Like maybe Riley pushes her.
I think that it will be definitely interesting to see where they go with this.
Yeah.
Either way.
But that's just a theory.
I don't think that it'll hurt the story. I think it'll be... They have a way of making things seem natural.
Yeah.
So like I can't say I'm worried at all about most aspects of this show. Like wherever they take it, they just seem to do it right. So
yeah, I agree. We do get some play over to and meeting Kathleen.
Yeah, who is a new character.
Yeah.
What did you think of Kathleen?
I enjoyed... We're talking about episode 4.
really not caring if we. I think some of these points are going to overflow
Okay.
to the next. I want to say issue,
The next
but
issue.
I know it's an episode.
Right.
I think that we're safe to kind of talk about both episodes a little bit
Okay.
because they're just going to flow over into that episode.
I love the entire build around Kathleen's story and how she's perceived in this episode initially,
And into the
and
next
then
episode.
into the next one, and then how that evolves. And the more we like, even in the 2 episodes, it's not that much to get to know a character, you know what I mean? But within those 2 episodes, the way that they built Kathleen and the way that we can see like the transformation of the character and how she shifts and what's actually going on within her head is spectacularly done.
Yeah. I think that she comes off like she's very calm.
Yeah.
And I think the acting that she does portrays a character that is more off the hinges than what somebody acting crazy would be.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right? She's so into what she's doing, nothing matters, including the situation of her society around her.
Yeah.
It is more important. Revenge is more important than the survival of her colony.
Yep.
And that is that's a mindset, and the calmness and all of it is a creepy mindset.
And the fact that you can see like pieces of the remorse that she has for what she's doing at the same time,
But doesn't care.
but doesn't care at the same time, it adds so much more depth and makes her scarier than, you know, your classic sociopaths or your psychopaths.
A
and stuff like that.
sociopath would have been less I don't know how to say it. Like it would have been less impactful.
Yeah. Because they'll just, you know, the remorse wouldn't be there. She would have just killed the doctor who was her doctor.
Yeah.
But you could see that it was emotionally affecting her. And then she still spitefully just kills the doctor.
Mm-hmm.
Which is, it's a lot. It was a lot. It was great. Great writing, great acting. And
fantastic.
I'm sure we say that every episode.
It's hard not to, though. Like, there's just the casting and the acting in this have just been superb. Like, I don't know if I've watched a show in a long time that I was this happy about those aspects of a show.
And I'm gonna go with like a cartoon was probably the last one, and that would have been League of Legends Arcane.
Or Vox
Machina is a whole different animal, but amazing. And we should do something on that at some point.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. Season 2 just popped in. I've seen most of it, but love talking about it. So
yeah, we should do that. But yeah, this, like when League of Legends Arcane came out, and we were doing the show on that show, it had the same. This show has the same effect and impact on me.
It was near perfect.
Where I'm consistently every episode.
It was near perfect.
In love with what's happening.
Yeah. It's hard not to just be in love with this show.
Yeah. And the thing about this show is that it's based on a video game that I love. So the fact that I loved LOL as well.
It's a double whammy.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a double
doing
whammy.
It so well.
All right.
Just so good. Quick side note, Perry, which is Kathleen's number 2, is the voice of Tommy.
Yeah, interesting.
From the video game. Yeah.
If I have to say that there's a favorite character other than what was the leader? Kathleen.
Yeah.
In that group, it's probably Perry. Perry is he played a good part.
Yes.
And he's kind of just like a solid character.
Yeah. He's the kind of character that, you know, I guess he's a classical apocalypse survival kind of
Survivor,
dude. Like,
strong,
yeah,
you know,
he
just
seems very like he's got
military
background or something, and like he's just a cool dude.
solid second hand.
Yeah,
for sure.
yeah,
Right. Very well done. You don't get a lot from other characters. The good thing about bringing Kathleen into this is that it gives substance to this group that the game didn't have.
right. Yeah, because they were just random marauder guys in a town.
Yeah, it gives you a reason for them being there.
And I thought it was cool that, you know, these are people that were downtrodden by Fedra and beaten down so much that they decided they were standing up and taking over the town.
Now we can probably get into solidly into number 5, after saying that eventually Joel and Ellie settle down.
Yeah.
In a building.
Yes.
Throw some glass down just in case.
Yes.
So that they can hear the crunching, which Joel doesn't hear.
No.
Partly because he's going deaf, apparently.
Just on the one side, but he laid on that side, I noticed.
And partly because he was up all night.
Right.
And he's in a dead sleep.
Comatose.
Right?
If you want to skip back before we jump to the sleepy scene.
Oh, I don't mind skipping.
On their hunt, Kathleen and Perry, on their hunt for Henry and Sam, do the check through the building because it's a big point in this episode.
It does affect the next one.
The attic, and then they kind of skim downstairs into the basement area, and there's that cracked and broken ground.
The attic, first off, is where now we see the living space.
Yeah.
Of is it Henry?
Henry and Sam.
Henry and Sam. A little glimpse of what their living space looked like.
Yeah.
Won't get too far into that, but there's the drawings and stuff like that.
So you realize that, you know, one of them's a child, which Kathleen gave no shits about. She was gonna kill everybody. She didn't care.
Right. That's how crazy she was, but like in the calmest way.
Oh.
She can say that.
Yeah.
Right. We'll get to that.
Yeah.
In a bit. But the cracked ground.
Cracked ground. Big point. Pulsating.
Right. And there was some talk about what that meant.
Right.
Right. Whether it be a bloater under there or possibly a new creation altogether, which they stated that they had made some new creations.
And I'm wondering if we do get one of those at the end.
I'm wondering because I thought, if anything, this would be a good time to do that.
Right.
But we haven't seen a bloater yet.
No. Which our producer was very upset about.
Yeah. Yeah. Cried even.
Yeah, she wept.
Right? Rude.
Yeah.
But they don't lead into what that is. They think they have it under control.
Yeah, they're going to deal with that later.
And it's best not to tell the colony.
Right, which is also a bad idea.
Them all wild up. Or riled up.
Wilding out.
Wilding out.
Mm-hmm.
And they just kind of ignore it. We'll figure it out later.
Yeah. We have to get Henry and Sam first and some random
people.
That's
what I'm saying is that, like, she's got tunnel vision.
Mm-hmm.
Where everything else, it's not her 7th priority.
She states.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is it your 7th priority?
No.
Of course it's not. All right.
What was her brother's name? Mike?
Michael?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway. Sleepy scene, glass.
Sleepy scene, glass.
That's where we really get to see the jokes and Joel just break down. And maybe it is because he hasn't slept in a couple of days.
But I'd like to think that it was definitely a bonding moment.
Yeah, for sure.
Because they both have a laugh.
Yeah.
And then they get to rest.
Right. And
then they end by being woken up by 2 characters.
Yes.
That we meet in the game.
Yes.
Guns
One of them a Torontonian.
Guns in the faces.
Yeah. Henry, played by Lamar. I don't remember his last name. And it's not on the board.
Oh, shame on you.
Lamar, from Toronto. Yeah.
So an Ontarian.
Ontarian, where we're from.
Yeah.
In case you're watching from anywhere outside of Ontario and you're not on our Facebook
It's
friends.
I mean, we're not going to give you our exact address.
But it's in Ontario.
That would be cray-cray.
Yeah.
All
And
right.
obviously in Southern Ontario, or we would have different accents.
Yeah.
I don't
All
know
right.
why I went with a Southern accent, but
So we can now officially talk about episode
Yeah.
5.
But first, I need to flip the board.
But first,
So we're going to take a 2-minute break.
2-minute break. 2-minute break. 2-minute break. Okay. Be right back. I think you need to mute the mics next time. And we're back.
Welcome back, Dan.
After a quick intermission, we're back. We're refreshed.
Why?
We're ready to go.
Why did you pause after enter?
Pardon me?
Why did you pause after enter? You said enter. Mission.
I'm not sure.
Oh. It's a weird spot to pause is all I'm saying.
I've left my refreshment over there.
Did you?
Thank you, Wheezy.
And there's the hand.
Round of applause. Round of applause for Wheezy. Thank you for coming, darling. We are officially talking about The Last of Us. The Last of Us. The Last of Us. Episode 5.
Yeah.
Okay. We left off with Ellie and Joel fast asleep.
Guns to face.
they've woken up 2 guns to face
Yes.
by our characters Henry
Yeah.
and Sam.
Yes.
2 brothers.
2 brothers.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sam's a bit different than in the show.
Is he?
By the means that he is mute and deaf.
Yes.
I think, right?
Well, I mean, there's no. I can't say that he's mute or not, but he's definitely deaf.
He
definitely he has.
he's deaf.
He laughs. We hear him laugh.
He does, but he doesn't do a lot of talking.
Well, because he's deaf.
Right.
Yeah.
So I don't know how that.
He didn't.
So you don't. There are people who are deaf that can talk to a certain extent.
Because he doesn't have like hearing aids. He's
just
fully.
doesn't-
He's obviously fully deaf.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I'm not here to dispute his level of deafness.
Well, it's real deaf.
All right. But in the game,
Mm-hmm.
he speaks. At the very least.
I don't. So I was just saying this earlier,
you
and
were.
I'm currently on like a playthrough of the game.
And you don't remember these characters.
But I don't remember these characters, and I haven't hit the point where I've met Sam and Hank. I don't know why I don't. Henry.
Hank, you just lagged.
I did.
Which I'm absolutely glad you did.
Henry and Sam. I don't remember them from the game, and I haven't hit a point where I get to kind of meet them again in the game. So I'm like,
well, you don't get to in the show.
Who's them? I was on set and I got to meet Henry and Sam on the show. So
you know what I could have used?
What?
A 30-year backstory on them, just to see where they came from in life.
I told you already. And you know what was funny about that conversation that we had last episode was that I had reiterated some of that conversation to other people that watch the show that I talked to. And they agreed with me that it's a great episode to show the humanity and what people do to survive in the post-apocalyptic era.
Well, what did Sam and Hank?
They weren't interesting enough. They could build a cool story around Bill, one of the favorite characters of the game.
The favorite character. You spend 30 seconds with him.
Well, again, you know what? The time
I know my time period when
that you spent with Bill
decreases every time.
Every single time. You played through and you beat that section of the game in 30 seconds now.
You can't physically do that.
First off. I'm amazed.
All right.
I think the cutscenes were longer than that, but you found a way to skip them.
Yep. You could skip the scenes.
You found a way to sometimes just the load after you skip a scene takes 30 seconds.
PlayStation 4. Right? Anyway, I'm joking.
Anyway.
I'm joking, okay? All right. Joking. And you see what I'm doing here? I just want to see that what I'm doing here, okay? We had a discussion about this.
Can you settle down a bit?
That was a natural movement.
Well, whatever. We'll move the poster over.
Okay.
Settle down.
That was a natural
It's not a part of the
motion.
show.
My apologies. Some of the set design we had a discussion about.
PS4. That's a big load. Ing time.
Wow.
That's, I don't know.
Regardless.
Do we have like a womp 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 womp?
Yeah, we definitely need to get a soundboard.
Yeah.
Okay. Now
that one doesn't work right.
The characters.
Yeah.
They are threatening them.
Mm-hmm.
And Joel, I can't not do this because this is how I work. Okay?
Yeah.
No, if you want to CGI posters into my set, then you need to settle with the consequences when I do this.
By the way, if you love the new set design as much as I do, or hate it,
mine is faking.
Feel free to comment.
It is a lovely set. We're making improvements for you guys, and sometimes we fumble the ball a little bit, right?
Mm.
What are you looking at me for?
Don't blame it on everyone.
It's not fumbled.
All right.
It looks great. I love
cheats.
this poster.
It's cheats. It'd be fine if it were real.
Just
All right.
reach out and touch it.
Tell us how long you thought that was real. First off,
Yeah, that's a good question.
that's a good question. I think.
They really.
All
Oh,
right.
don't do
it's
that.
magic. All
That's
right.
too much.
You're a wizard.
That's too much free space if you
All
take
right.
that off.
Yeah, keep it on because it's eerie without it.
Should we get away from Dan though?
Okay, look, now you're just being weird. Now you're just being weird.
No, it's fine now.
It just flew through my head.
Put that back.
Ultimately, set's looking great. I think the lighting behind it, nice.
I love it.
Okay, I know you love it.
Yeah, I did.
You were freaking out in our chat.
Yeah,
All right, it's like you're dreaming about the set.
I love it.
I know I can't not do this. I'm a hand talker.
Talk with the other hand.
I can't. I'm on.
It's his Italian roots.
All right. Anyways,
Let's pull it back in here.
they are not going to. They're not going to get out of this without some cunning words. Where Joel refuses
Yeah, it's not happening.
to break his.
Did we? This episode starts with the prologue.
It does start with a prologue
Yeah.
of Harry,
It starts before Henry. even.
and Sam.
It starts before that. It starts with Kathleen and the takeover.
It does start with the takeover.
Yeah.
And I did have something to say about that.
Yeah.
So thank you.
You're welcome.
Fucking notes.
I can't read the notes. It got dark.
You can't read that?
I'm
can read them.
old.
It's fine. I can read it.
It's,
Don't do
it's,
that.
It's fine.
Oh God.
It's fine.
He made shadows.
Look, you're making this. This is a mess. All right.
I
I can read it. I'm just not referring to it much.
Can I question? Because I didn't write on the board.
You may question.
Fedra officers being brutally killed is the top note.
Yes.
Which officers are we talking about here?
Meaning the takeover.
Just in general?
Just in general.
Okay.
The takeover
Okay.
Like the group of Fedra soldiers
that are being
that
shot
was
in the
there
head and hung.
were being like brutally murdered.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dragged through the streets full of knives.
Yeah.
Which is less than what the Fedra soldiers have been doing to the
Yeah, because we kind of get some of the backstory on
This group.
what this group of Fedra soldiers were doing to the people of
So-
this town. It was a lot of like rape, torture, murder kind of stuff that they were doing, and in that prologue piece, I think we get the parts around Kathleen with the moles too, right? And has all of the
what did they call them?
informants
The
collaborators.
collaborators. Thank you, Easy.
all stuck in that cell too.
Yeah. They go ham on the soldiers. All right.
Yeah.
They are celebrating. This is what freedom looks like.
Yeah.
Okay.
It doesn't look very nice, by the way.
This is what freedom looks like. Okay.
Like, I'm okay with, you're gaining your freedom and you're killing the people that tormented and made your life hell for a while, but they went above and beyond. And I don't know if I could go there. I would be okay with just maybe
But-
single gunshot to the head kind of thing, or just a
Can I
quick
say though
shank.
that I truly believe this is what society looks like in circumstances like this. It's
Good
not
to know.
unrealistic.
No, there's certainly the potential.
This is
for
what
that to
people
happen.
look like under these circumstances.
Well, I mean, this is what people look like outside of these circumstances as well. It's just
We've had circumstances in real life that could have turned like that.
Yeah.
Easily.
Yeah.
Like this is not
out of the realm of
out of the realm of
possibility.
realistic,
Mhm.
humanity.
Which is something, isn't it?
It's crazy,
It's scary. And that's what I think adds to the show so much, is those pieces that almost touch on
reality.
reality.
It's crazy.
Well, look at great works like Lord of the Flies. where there's kids stranded on an island, and they pull back to these roots of aggression.
Yeah.
And this strange tribal justice, but not exactly tribal justice, but this morose sense of tribal justice.
Well, even like the horror industry, I think that the further you go away from reality, the less frightening things are. The things that are rooted in real fear and realistic fear are the things that are the most scary.
This
right?
has been...
Not for me, but for normal people. I get scared for no reason at all.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going to say that these conversations that we're having in these last couple of things here have been the most in-depth conversations that we've had ever on this show. By the way.
So stop?
No. I'm enjoying it. I don't know if...
All right.
Well, I'm assuming people would prefer us to be just being ridiculous, but...
Do you like us more when we're ridiculous or when we're having serious topics
real
and
serious
discussions?
Talks.
Let us know down below.
Yeah.
All right. That's in the comments. All right. There you go. A little silly.
Yeah.
All right. Just to break the mood, okay?
We do get pieces of Henry Sam.
Yeah, we learn a little bit in this why they're on the run from the group.
Yeah.
Right? And why they can't escape, on their own type deal. They're the guns they learn are not loaded.
Yeah, he doesn't have...
Henry's never hurt anyone in that manner.
No.
Per se, he's hurt people in other manners.
Yeah, that was quite the...
to survive.
That was quite the piece of story too. That he gave up like the leader of the resistance in the city, who happened to be Kathleen's brother.
Who they don't believe, her and Perry don't believe that he made any movements though, from what they say.
Well, Kathleen doesn't care about that part of it.
She cares,
but Perry does mention,
yeah,
like
you're a better leader.
Yeah, we didn't gain freedom.
You gained
behind.
Freedom.
Is it Mike?
Yeah, Michael.
You did that.
Michael Bublé.
Yeah, bubbly. But yeah, we see Henry and Sam getting taken in by Edelstein, and kind of what part he played.
The doctor.
From the previous episode, which was kind of nice to see why he was such a pivotal character to Kathleen. We know that they have an escape plan that they're unable to facilitate themselves because Henry's not a real tough guy.
No,
like he's not.
I mean, he's doing what he can to protect his brother, and it's led him down a path that.
But he's a rat. That's all. At this point.
To them. Yeah. That's all he is.
Well, and even Joel states at one point, like, I don't work with rats.
Yeah.
It's just not having it.
Harshly.
Yeah.
And then later on,
he's like, oh, sorry about that.
Says maybe he was a bit rash about it.
But then Henry is like, no, you weren't. I am a bad dude.
I did bad things.
Yeah.
Which makes me a bad dude.
Yeah.
Right? All in all.
His brother had leukemia, which I was like expecting, because I forgot about these characters altogether.
So this was all like kind of very new.
A young father-son relationship.
Right? It's all like, hey, it's kind of a new story for me.
Yeah.
Joel kind of lets it slide at that point because I think he's looking at Ellie like, I got to do what I got to do, and I have done what I've had to do to survive and to protect the people that I care about, and the things that he will do.
Yeah.
To protect her.
Yeah.
He'll do what he has to.
Which is interesting, because again, we get to see a lot more clips and pieces of where Joel and Ellie's relationship ends up going, right?
Yeah. The location of where they are at this point. is a bunker
Yeah, they do get to the bunker.
that looks quite similar to the game, and it is the bunker of. Do you remember the name of the two people?
Ish and
Ish
Danny.
and Danny.
Yeah.
The same picture is on the wall.
Yep.
The corridor that leads to it looks pretty similar, like a simulation.
Mm-hmm.
Words
Yeah. I did
They
enjoy,
seem to get me.
prior to them actually going to the sewers, that little planning session that they had at the top of that big building.
Mhm.
And just the interactions between Ellie, Joel, Henry, and Sam.
Yep.
And Henry has a lot to say about, what they're doing and whatnot too, which I thought was neat. That
Like the plan itself.
yeah,
You know,
like why I was a little confused as to why Henry asked Sam about what the plan was, and then he wrote tunnels on the thing. I thought it was a weird, kind of awkward scene. You know what I mean? Because he was like, "How are we getting out to Sam?" When he really didn't have to ask Sam that.
I think asking Sam was first off a way of showing that Sam knew the plan.
Right.
Okay. Second off, showing that even the child was comfortable with the tunnels.
Right.
Meaning Joel, a fully capable adult who survived not one but two clickers.
That's right.
Which, by the way, first time they refer to them as clickers.
Yep.
In the show. Showing that to Joel that the child was not scared to go into those tunnels. Right? So they were convinced that the tunnels were cleared. Right? I think that maybe I'm wrong. But that's the best explanation I have.
Okay.
Of why that would.
I'll take it. I mean, I don't have any other explanation in it.
So an explanation
without that
is a great one.
Yeah, it just felt awkward a bit. So
that's the only context I could have given to it.
Sure. I'll take it.
Right?
I'll take it.
Other than just pure giving Sam some screen time. Like some action.
I love his superhero mask, by the way.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Which is given to him based on the drawings that he makes. And as confidence to probably both Sam and Hank.
Yeah. So in the bunker, we get some good stuff from the Savage Starlight series.
Yeah, they're talking about the books.
The comic book that's in there, and this episode was named after it. Endure and Survive.
Yeah.
So that was a nice little.
I like the whole comic book aspect of it.
Of course you do.
Yeah. Why wouldn't I?
Right.
Right. I actually want to read that book.
Do you?
Now. Why wouldn't I?
I mean, I would read that book at this point.
Why wouldn't
if they threw together a Savage Starlight series, I'd read it.
Now, I watched some breakdowns of this show, and they went...
Break it down.
Breakdown.
Mm-hmm.
And they went into, like, literally timeline and locations of these books. And it's like, well, he wouldn't have got... She wouldn't have had that book yet.
That's a bit much.
And I'm like, I don't think we're that deep.
No.
Right? But not that I would discredit the show that I watch.
Right.
Because it's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
But I thought that was a little deep.
That's a deep cut.
Yeah, it's a very deep cut.
I like that. I like that Ellie and Sam are both collectors of this particular comic too, and they're kind of like
automatically gives them like a bonding point.
Yeah.
And stuff. They have a great time.
The kids being kids aspect of this episode,
which
too.
Joel was like uptight about.
Yeah, he was.
All right.
Yeah, he was not having it. He was like, "Quiet down, we're not out of here yet."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I like when they first enter that tunnel. I like the dialogue there and stuff where they're all talking about, oh yeah, see, it's clear, and he's like, "We've been in here for 5 minutes."
Yeah, which is fair.
Yeah.
You walk into a room and you start being real loud.
I was like, yeah, just
Bunch of idiots.
when they walked in and started talking, in like my inner dialogue said, "Shut up."
Yeah. Yeah. I was waiting for something to come out.
Yeah, like it's whether it be like human or infected.
Yeah.
Right.
Can't just be walking around loud.
Yeah.
And
Joel's been around the block. He knows you can't be doing that.
It like half comes out to haunt them again later when they come out of the tunnels and are
onto the
being
street,
loud and just talking and
then they start getting
carrying
fired
on.
at.
Yeah.
Right? Before we leave the tunnel, though, Joel is off put by Henry calling him out for. He's like, I know she's not your daughter, but I know you.
Yeah.
I know you were a father.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can tell that
Somebody's
by the way you act and stuff. While he's telling his story, he realizes that, and Joel shuts him down right away.
Yeah, that's when he calls it. He's
that's
like,
that's one of his rules. You don't talk about that.
He's like, time to go. We're rolling out.
All right. Yeah, we've been here long enough.
Yeah. Not having it.
Bunker seal, all in all, cool scene.
Yeah, I enjoyed the scene and the humanity again that it gave. Too.
Well, and it did simultaneously tell a story. Holy goodness me.
It's the take a hike.
Yeah, it's the take a hike. It did simultaneously tell a story about the bunker itself and how people had lived there, had a set of rules,
and didn't
follow the rules.
Now everybody dead.
And then shit went down.
Yeah.
Right? So like there is a subtext to that scene.
Yeah.
Which is cool in my books. Like this was made a home at one point.
Yeah.
And like there's all that like preschool sort of stuff there.
Yeah, it did feel very preschooly.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Straight from the game.
Straight from the game. And that's which is cool. This is stuff I love to see.
Yeah.
Right? If anybody agrees, let us know.
Nobody's letting us know anything.
All right. I'm not talking about just now. Okay, I'm looking into
eventually?
the future.
Into the future.
All right. Because I see things. I don't got a one set mind here. Okay. I'm looking into the future.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
We've left the tunnel.
Into the future. Is that what? No? Just the tunnel in general?
Just it's the present.
Okay.
Tunnel.
Yeah.
Okay.
Of the show.
Of the show.
Hmm.
Okay. And you're right.
Yeah.
They are loud.
Obnoxious.
And they get shot at by old men. Old man.
Old man. And I think that this sniper scene kind of touches on a sniper scene from the game, which is I think what
in
they
the
were
game,
trying to
there's
do.
Several times where he has to kind of sniper and keep an eye on Ellie from a height, right?
Yeah.
The scene was almost taken from the game.
Yeah.
Because it was so hard.
It wasn't an old man, it was a 20-year-old guy.
Okay. Now, I can't remember in the game, but when Joel goes up there and finds the old man and he pleads with him,
Yeah.
don't do this. Okay. Is it the same manner in the game? No. So he doesn't show, again, that humanity.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he doesn't show the softness to him.
No, you just cap a mofo.
Yeah. This shows a lot about where Joel's at right now.
Yeah.
Like, he's not just capping everybody he sees.
No.
Capping asses.
Settle down.
All right?
I think we can only have a certain amount of asses in an episode.
But yeah, there's a level of, softness to him that he's not showing anyone else.
No. But he doesn't want to kill random old man guy.
Yeah.
Who was a terrible shot.
Terrible shot.
Like.
Horrible.
Imperial Stormtrooper bad.
I mean, I know that you don't want to. I know you don't want to put one of your best guys out there.
Sure.
Okay?
Okay.
because she was saying, just hold them there till we get there. Just hold them, right?
Maybe. Gosh, I hope so. I hope
think he
that
was missing on purpose.
I hope he was missing on purpose. Cause boy, that was bad.
Yeah, you might have a point. Because he was a terrible sniper.
Yeah.
Otherwise.
Yeah.
All right. Before we get to like the finale, which was fantastic to this, like, let's talk about the trials.
The trials.
Where Kathleen has now gathered up all of the what are they again? The collaborators.
Yeah, we kind of touched on it a little bit,
but she's there's something that she says that hit me, and it's that she's like, okay, tell us where they are, and we'll have a trial. You're all guilty.
Yeah.
But we'll have a trial, and then we'll see later on. Are they going to get a trial? No, kill him.
Yeah.
She doesn't care.
No. And we get the scene where she's in the house as well, which I thought was a great scene, where she's just
with her childhood
bedroom, where she obviously they had the bunk beds, so her and Michael,
and describes how her brother described the room as a box where nothing could happen as a child.
Doesn't matter whether there was thunderstorms or tornadoes or whatever.
Gunshots or whatever, right?
So she must have lived in like a shady ass neighborhood too.
Hard neighborhood. It's a hard knock life.
Yeah. For Kathleen.
Yeah. So she's a deep character without even trying to, like, it's a very easy
and that was the bedroom scene where, no, I don't think it was in the bedroom where she goes on about it not being her 7th priority thing.
No, that's during the trial where she's talking about the trials, because Perry doesn't want to expend the manpower.
Right. To just look for 2 people.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which he was probably right.
He was more tactical.
Yeah.
Right? But ultimately, she was the power. Right?
Well, she's the one who succeeded, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's talk about probably the most fantastic scene.
Yeah.
In this episode, in the last 2 episodes, which is the outbreak.
It was so Lord of the Rings-ish, isn't it?
These mother effers were quick.
Yeah. Yeah,
It's terrifying.
We didn't have any basic bitches up in there.
No basic bitches at all.
No.
This is where her tunnel vision starts to break the plan.
Yeah.
Because she's so into it. And again, she has Harry come out.
Harry?
Is it Henry or Harry?
It's Henry.
Right? At least it's not Hank.
Can we talk about the fact, quick, during the sniper piece, that Henry was just going to run for it? Like, solo run. Like, he tries to just take off.
Yeah.
Almost get shot and has to come back.
Yeah, oh yeah. During the whole mess of a scene, where the truck explodes, falls into the ground, and then we get to see what
Joel's
those cracks.
A solid sniper, by the way.
Oh yeah.
Like, cracks off.
Even though the gun, he misses a couple shots, to be fair.
Yeah. Well, it's a high-speed moving plow truck.
Until he composes himself.
Yeah.
And then he takes the
driver out.
The run mobile out.
The run mobile.
Yeah.
Straight from the game.
Yes.
Run mobile. The run plow.
The run plow. Takes
Which
a
was
shot.
my nickname in high school.
The run plow?
Yeah.
And he takes that out, and then he gets superb with his shooting,
Mhm.
and he's taken down bad guys. He's taken down when they start coming out of the ground,
Oh,
like a mob of things. And now this is where there was a discussion I was reading
Mhm.
where people had said, what's more terrifying, the Walking Dead zombies or these things?
so aren't Walking Dead zombies like shambling,
The Walking Dead zombies
useless?
are slow as molasses.
Like they're walking. They're
The
Walking Dead.
Walking Dead, not
Yeah.
the running, crawling like a spider exorcist
Oh,
thing. We're gonna
I want to touch on
definitely
that.
talk about that
Yeah,
particular
because
clicker.
see, yeah,
Um,
but yeah, when they come pouring out of that hole, and it's full run mode, and it's just
insane.
I Am Legend zombies.
That, except for more ruthless, I guess. Like they're just
Yeah.
crazy.
It'd be a better comparison.
It would be a better comparison for sure. Is the I Am Legend zombies
Zombies.
esque things,
Yeah.
right? And then the big boy comes out.
Yeah.
All right.
What we've all been waiting for these episodes.
And producer Laura's either kicked a field goal
Yeah. It's good.
or she's excited about this.
Did you see how I did that, by the way? Watch. It's good. Notice my hand doesn't need to flow through
Fake
our
props.
poster.
Um,
You can do that too.
did the bloater look good? How did you feel about the bloater?
I think the bloater looked super solid.
Didn't look exact,
I think,
but
it's
we're
gonna be
not looking for
different.
exact.
No, it doesn't have to look exact, but
It looked good.
I think it has to be different because you don't have the spores.
Yeah,
And the
which
spores are a big part of what that whole thing that it's throwing these like spore balls.
the
and
belly
stuff like that.
bombs
Yeah.
is like what
So,
I like to call them.
Yeah.
All right, because he pulls them off of himself.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's going to be a little different where he's more of that like
The bombs don't make sense without spores.
right.
Right. So it has to be essentially a brute.
Like a juggernaut.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That can pick somebody up over their head and rip them in half type
Right.
deal.
Well, he pops that.
Perry gets his head ripped off.
Yeah. Poor Perry.
Right? And you're thinking, uh-oh. Uh-oh, SpaghettiOs.
Yeah. Because it was taken like
It was taking shots.
it was taking shots
hits.
like they were nothing.
All right. Machine guns.
Teresa
Blah, blah.
asked me, what is that?
You spot on Teresa, by the
Yeah.
way.
Actually, I was laughing because she said, "What the fuck is that?" Which is reminiscent of the game itself, which I was like, "Oh, that's funny," because she's never played the game, but that's a fair reaction to it.
It's a fair reaction. I think that's a
fungus
fair
monster.
reaction from anyone
Yeah,
seeing something like that.
sure,
Okay.
sure.
I liked it. Did you get enough of it?
I think I got enough of it. Like
A
it was
fair
a
amount?
solid amount.
Like they could have overdone it,
Yeah,
right?
like it did a good job of tearing people up.
You
And
still
then to finish off Perry, which is, one of those characters that I kind of enjoyed.
Yeah, I think he was a high valued character for these 2 episodes.
Yeah.
And seeing him get his head ripped off was like it was a defining moment.
Yeah.
Right? Where like shit has hit the fan type deal if Perry got taken out. 'Cause,
Right.
And then we talk about Joel sniping and almost being in tune with Ellie.
Yeah. Yeah. The looks that they were kind of sharing somehow. Even though Ellie was way down there, she
Didn't matter.
I don't know. It didn't. Yeah.
They were
together.
they
in sync.
were working as a team. All she did was glance at the car window.
Mhm.
He knew what to do.
Yeah.
Okay. But he gets distracted just enough to let a clicker in the car with her.
He couldn't hit that clicker for some reason.
Tried like 2 shots.
And that clicker
This clicker
was something else. And here's why I
played by
couldn't wait to get to this clicker.
a clearly an acrobatics
Sure.
person. I can't remember her
Sure.
name.
It was a teenage girl.
Yes, she's like in
Contortionist
acrobatics
of some kind,
something
yeah.
like that. Wow, crazy.
My question is this some sort of in-between or upgrade clicker? Is this a different clicker than
A normal clicker.
a normal clicker? Is this one of the new things that they've thrown in there?
Interesting concept.
Yeah,
She seemed like a new clicker.
like something
she had
different.
Just turned clicker.
Like she had not been a clicker for long.
Yeah,
She
but
was
runners and
very
stuff don't
agile.
move like that.
No.
You know what I mean?
But she also.
She was downright like the Grudge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it was creepy as crap.
Oh,
It was
And-
great.
something that made me question the whole clicker piece was that Ellie wasn't moving in the front seat. She was sitting there, breathing, not moving, staring at this thing,
not
and
making
it's
any sense.
still
There's a
was
lot
like-
of noise going on in the
right,
background.
but it's still focused on her.
But if you. Do I need to come sit over there?
Come and sit over
Come
here
sit
for
over
a
here
second.
for a second.
You want to move the mic just slightly
Yeah, I can,
without being brute?
without being obnoxious.
Yeah, that's not working. Be loud.
So, if you notice, though. Am I in shot? Yeah.
If you're in shot, we could fit 3 more people in here.
Of all the characters that. Or things infected that came out of that hole, not a lot of them were clickers. They were mostly runners.
Yeah,
Runners can see,
yeah.
right? It's
Yes,
just
but
clickers that
this
can't.
thing
But what was this
a
thing?
half breed of
I'm
some
saying
sort.
This thing was like just transitioning into clicker. Like it's at that
The
moment,
breaking
right? It's
point of
all
being a
coming out,
clicker.
but it can still see. It could definitely see.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It could sense her in some
she saw
way.
Ellie climb into the back of the car.
I don't know that it could just see though.
What do you mean?
I don't know. It still sounded like a clicker.
Yeah.
It had the separated jaw like the other one did.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So there was definitely
But how was it seeing?
I hadn't lost its sight yet. It's not like
Where's its eyes?
it's not like you're a runner, you're a
Where-
runner. Bam, clicker.
Where was its? I know that's what I was talking about in the scene where, previously where Ellie finds that thing in the basement,
Yeah.
where it seems like it was in between that transition.
Yeah.
But where were the eyes? on
where
this
were
one?
the
There's
eyes?
no eyes.
I don't think it had.
I didn't. I would have to rewatch to see that, but
Yeah.
I think that the face was more graphically like the other clickers.
And again,
Yeah.
Cauliflower
again,
face, yes,
the movement of this thing
was abnormal to
was
other.
abnormal.
It was.
It was twisting.
And if you think about even somebody that had
But
the background of being a contortionist, if they're infected fungally, it feels like really base movements.
right. But
This
based
thing was
off-
like
based
sliding
off
through
what
windows.
This
muscles
thing-
can do.
when this
I don't
thing
know.
flopped over the back seat,
Right?
it was just
The
like,
legs.
yeah, it was just like fantastically disgusting.
Yeah.
I think they were trying to like get her to be like fall over the things, but she was so good at it that it was very like fluid.
It was like intentional falling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It looked
know.
good.
All
Either
in
way,
all,
Holy crap.
like, oh yes, like
It was-
spineless is a
I
good
feel
way
like
to
it was
say
a
it,
new
right?
something.
I felt uncomfortable
This
on the couch.
thing, it was
I like,
it was
"Oh."
uncomfortable,
Yeah.
but it was like fantastically uncomfortable.
Yeah.
You know, it was like that was like you went, and then you went, that was awesome,
Yeah.
Yeah.
right?
Oh my god. Yeah.
Ellie gets out.
She does.
Okay, they make their way off, but not before she insists that they save.
With more of that sweet, sweet eye contact, head move, slight
Yeah.
shift.
And he's like, we shouldn't do it.
Yeah.
No, we're doing it. Right?
Yeah.
I can't say that I was surprised at the result later because they had infected all over them.
Yeah.
In fact, what I was surprised at is that both of them were not.
Right. Yeah.
But they get them out. They're just about out of the scene before Kathleen
again.
persistently, with her tunnel vision, has to stop them. It's gonna kill remorselessly.
Yeah.
Okay, that was a weird word to say, and
Yeah.
or I said it weirdly.
You said it weirdly.
Okay, and then that same clicker that we're also fascinated with jumps and just destroys her, like in the most glorious fashion.
Yeah. Tears her apart.
Did you see Ellie's face when that was happening? And she was like, yeah.
Ellie has a kind of demented thought process over it all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, she's calloused in some ways,
But not in others. Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
It's
And again, the fact that clicker thing followed them to that spot
zeroed
instead
out.
of this entire
Instead of just
war
randomly
scene.
going to the next person.
Yeah.
I think it's a new thing.
Maybe. Maybe it is.
I think it's fancy.
They did not say at all that that was a new thing. But maybe.
Feels like a new
But they
thing.
don't need to say every time. They don't need to point
look,
out
a
every
new
time that
thing.
there's something.
No, I mean like the directors. And
No,
stuff
no,
that
they didn't.
talk
But
about.
in the show,
You're just talking to the directors, or
No,
Well, I
listen
mean-
to their podcast.
Mm.
Shut up.
I know
I
how
listen
you.
to the podcast.
I know how much you talk to artists and directors and publishers and things, so because you're kind of a big deal.
I am a big deal.
Yeah.
Run the show without me.
so we have looking for a new producer.
Oh.
The scene widens out where you see the infected kind of scurrying off.
Yeah.
And that bloater kind of just casually walking off like, I'm the man,
Yeah.
you know, just, you know, so the bloater exists still.
Yeah.
That bloater at the very least.
When I don't think the Kansas City survivor peoples exist anymore. Really.
So it's safe to say that they did not necessarily clear the tunnels.
No.
They just lured them all to one spot.
Yeah. Some space.
Some space.
That was. It seemed like I guess on the outskirts, right?
Yeah.
Like they at least shifted them that far.
Mhm.
But even then, did they? Because in the middle of the city, we had
They
the
had
broken,
they had
cracked, pulsating.
they had a manner
ground.
of getting through at some point
Yeah.
or another, right? We're out of the sticky situation.
Are we?
All right. We've made our way to where?
Motel 6.
Motel 6.
I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Where they check in.
Yeah.
All right.
Ping, ping.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're gonna sleep the night off. All right. I think the main thing that we get out of this is the scene between Sam and Ellie.
Yeah. Where
Right.
obviously Sam is upset, not enjoying the comic time, or
He's checked out
yeah,
of that, right? They have a very kind of, even though it's written, it's still kind of an emotional back and forth.
yeah,
Where Sam asks a question of, if we turn into a monster, are we still there? Is there a part of us that's still
right.
us? Right?
And the answer is no.
Apparently.
Yeah.
All right. And that's when they find out Sam has been bit.
Right.
Now, Ellie does the best she can.
Right. Blood is medicine. She knows that she can.
She knows she's the cure.
Yeah.
All right. Putting my hand down here.
Oh.
She knows she's the cure.
Yeah.
But that's not how it works.
No.
All right. They need to synthesize a
Maybe.
cure,
Can
possibly.
they?
Maybe.
Who knows?
With her blood, right?
Right.
That's the plan,
Right.
at the very least. So she tries to put her blood on the wound, goes to sleep, hoping it's going to work. Gets up.
Just to find creepy Sam
To
sitting on
creepy
the old
Sam.
edge of the bed.
All right. Who inevitably attacks her.
Yeah.
Joel and Hank hear a scream.
They fly through the door.
Guns are drawn.
One.
Not.
Just one gun.
This has bullets in it this time, though.
Yeah.
Okay.
Where do you get bullets?
Maybe he had bullets the whole time. He just didn't load it.
Yeah, that's possible.
All right.
Okay.
You think, or you're meant to think, I think. All right.
Mhm.
That he's going to potentially shoot Joel.
Right.
Right? And then instinct kicks in and he shoots Sam.
Right.
Well, fuck.
Right.
If you could put yourself in those shoes, you know?
Just shot your little brother, who was zombified.
Yeah. Like, he knew he had to do it. But we've seen similar things in other shows. And there was even talk about putting something in this show with Tess.
Yeah.
Of not being able to do it.
Sure.
Right? Tons of zombie-esque shows. You always get a character who couldn't do it.
Right.
And then it haunts them later.
Yeah.
Okay?
They have like a random zombie pet.
His
that eventually kills them or whatever.
His instincts right away. Right?
Well, not right away.
Well, I mean, very quickly, though.
Fairly.
Fairly quickly. I mean, he holds off long enough that it's worrisome.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? Because Joel can't do anything about it at the second.
No, because he'll get shot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the inevitable. Like, as soon as he did that, I knew exactly what was coming next. Right? And then he unalives himself.
Yeah.
All right?
Was that a funny scene, producer?
Did you find joy in that?
Find joy in listening to you.
That's good. There's one person.
Yep.
Again, like, this has been an emotional roller coaster.
It has.
This show.
And it's hard watching it with someone who's never played the game. Because you know everybody's going to die.
Yeah, it's Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
Don't.
It's like watching Game of Thrones and then watching Game of Thrones with somebody who's never watched Game of Thrones.
And
you're
just like they're going like, oh, I really like this character.
Oh, don't.
Oh yeah, I like this character. Do
Don't
not get attached.
Don't like them
to any character.
And that's what I told Teresa too. because she's constantly asking me, "What are they gonna die?" And I'm like,
Watch the show.
I don't know. I said just assume everybody's gonna die.
See, here's the thing: is that I'm not good at hiding things. So like, Monica's not watching it with me, right? But if she were to ask, are they going to be okay? Yeah.
Wow,
Yeah.
that was convincing.
I can't
It's
lie.
convincing.
All right. I wear my emotions and my heart on my sleeve.
And
okay?
your face.
And then when I wipe my face with my sleeve, I get hard on it.
Did you say heart?
Mm-hmm. Heart.
Oh, okay.
On it.
What?
All right.
Is this a PG show?
No. I was very clear on what I said. Okay.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, crazy.
Yeah.
Cray.
Super emotional, touching moment. The burial.
Which Ellie is not okay
No.
with it. Like, she's not gonna let it go. I think this is where she starts getting hard. Get off your freaking.
It's weird.
It doesn't always have to be like that, okay?
Yeah, she says.
Cracking up over this.
She just gotta.
You can say that somebody is hard without being a pervert. It means they're gonna toughen up. All right? You don't have to do that though.
Oh wow. Ooh.
I didn't say anything wrong. It's a term.
Yeah.
You're ridiculous.
I'm sorry that she failed Sam.
Yep.
On the grave. Super emotional.
She's hardening up. Okay. This is where she's gonna get tough.
Yeah. She's toughening. And you see that when she just says, let's go. Like,
I don't want to talk about it.
No.
I don't want to. Let's just go.
And part of that's,
It's very Joel-esque.
Emulating Joel. Yes.
I just said Joel-esque.
Thank you.
I saw you struggling there.
Yeah.
You don't want to say something that's just going to make people laugh at you. Jerks.
And the final note on there I really enjoy. Joel has a sniper, new weapon unlocked.
Yeah, he got old man sniper.
Old man sniper. So obviously that had enough ammunition for him to.
Well, there was plenty of ammunition in that room.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like, he was reloading like a mother effer.
Yeah.
Okay. Just reloading.
Yeah.
Firing off rounds.
Mm-hmm.
Having a heyday.
Yes.
You could say.
So many.
All right.
Just
We done?
busting caps. What?
We done?
I think that's it.
I think we've successfully covered 2 whole episodes.
In a reasonable amount of time.
Reasonable to us. Let me tell you a little story.
What?
I said to Monica before I left, or sometime today, we have 2 shows to cover.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll probably have to be quicker per episode.
Right.
And she just went, right? And I'm like, what was that? She was like, that's laughable. She did.
Did she think like 1 a.m.?
She was like, no way you guys are going to do anything any quicker.
I think we did it.
All right.
We did it.
So,
yeah.
In your face.
Yeah.
All right. No freaking, what's the word? No faith in us.
Faith. I was going to say confidence. But
no confidence, no
fine.
faith in us. All right. So suck it.
Suck it, Monica.
All right. If you like what we're doing here,
remember
to go ahead and subscribe,
like,
share with your friends,
hit that notification bell,
and
comment in the comment section down below.
peach out.
Love you guys. Peace.
Wow, wow.
What is that?
It's my peach.
Don't be showing your peach.